Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Maybe she just likes you. Now, check it out. Sometimes some dudes in this space are thinking too much. Now, I always talk about self-improvement, the body game, getting your mind right, all of that stuff, bing, bang, boom. And sometimes dudes get out here and they're trying to analyze not only why a woman likes a particular man like another man, and that's a whole other video, but why a woman's really liking them, or why a woman doesn't like them. But sometimes she just like you. Look, this stuff, as I constantly say, y'all know it, I should put it on a t-shirt. This is an art, not a science. And what I just talked about last week, different women have different needs. They got different personalities. Sometimes, regardless of what you got, you know what? You might not be a dude who's 6 feet. You might not have 6 figures. And according to national statistics, most men listening to this don't make 6 figures. And the average dick size is 5.5. So you average height, average build, probably average facial features. You might be working a decent job. Well, shoot, with the unemployment, the real unemployment in this country, you might not be doing that, or part-time or something. But then you still get a decent woman. And when I say decent, I say 6 and above. 6 and above. Really 5 and above. But 6 and above, we'll make it more fun. A little bit above average. And regardless of what you got, she just feeling you. Sometimes she just like you. Sometimes we in this space especially. And this is something I have to be careful of. Sometimes we'll say, well, if you're muscular, you're this, you're that. And all that go with a woman. Women by nature don't follow order anyway. Women by nature are chaos. Women by nature, they don't want to hear it, but I'm just being real. Chaos means there's no real rhyme or reason to something. They might just see you. It's like sometimes people see a mangy puppy or something. This is a real crude analogy, but go with me on it. You might see some real mangy ass dog. Real mangy, a mutt, like a real mutt. Look mixed with about 15 different breeds or something. But you might still fall in love with it. Just some about it. And some guys got that. A lot of guys got that. A lot of guys will have some woman interested in them and actually blow it. Because the woman just might like what they present. The dude is average. He got a weird sense of humor, but the woman might like that shit. Sometimes just sit back and go with it, because what'll happen usually is this. You might get some guy, he know he ain't what society considers top. He ain't that sexual alpha. He ain't that alpha showpiece. Normally he ain't select. But he meets some woman and he think, oh man, why she like me? It's like more guys. I'm going to tell you what. More men actually kill themselves with women than women reject them. Let me say that again. Many men, I'm going to say many men kill themselves when it's dealing with women. And I mean that in a figurative sense. They kill themselves. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they'll have somebody show some interest in them and they start questioning. They start showing their insecurity. They're like, now I say the 6 or above. Now let's say the woman's an 8 or even a dime. Now, first of all, me just saying that because I know somebody heard that and say, yeah, a dime wouldn't be interested in an average man. But yet you see it all the time. And I've personally known some women who would be considered dimes who had sex with an ordinary type of looking dude. Even though some now you look at the dude like, huh? And so it's like, But they just like him. Now the guys see this and they say, oh, she liking me. Oh, she must want something. Now the dude know he ain't making more than like $13 an hour on his hourly wage job. So he can't think it's money. Shoot, she might have more money. And dude know when he look in the mirror, he ain't seeing any cuts or anything. But she's still showing some interest. So he spends most of the time, he'll actually ruin it because he think, oh, she must be playing me. She must want something. But see, he don't know what's going on with her. Now, some people remember the imprint videos that me and BGS talked about. We talked about the sexual imprint. You don't know who that, like for example, with that case, you don't know who the first guy that woman got with. Now, let me shout out Cousin Tito. Cousin Tito, I don't know if he said this publicly or on his Patreon or just in an ordinary conversation with him. But many of these dimes, many of these very beautiful women that you see out here, when you see them at 25 or 30, you know, in the 20s and stuff, and they real beautiful, real got killer bodies, real sexy. A lot of them were high school jocks. A whole lot of them were high school jocks. And as such, they might have been a bit more awkward. In fact, another portion of like some of the very beautiful women were awkward girls in high school. Some old women, like I know a woman, she actually, when she started college, she was like somewhat chubby. Actually, she was a jock in high school, ironically, but she was a little bit on the thicker side, and she was about 5'7". She actually put on 2 inches in college. I remember that she actually grew a bit and slimmed out some. So it was just like, oh wow, damn. She actually went up maybe 2 points just in college. So you got, but you have that with a lot of women. So getting back to the imprint part, so they might have been jocks, they might have been awkward girls in high school. They probably didn't get with like the school jock or the school popular boys. They probably got, if they got with anybody, they probably got with the dorky dudes or the ordinary looking dudes and got imprinted by them. So when they grow up, they still gonna have a natural attraction for that, even though somebody could think they might do better. See, that imprint ain't no joke. That imprint isn't any joke. Once women get used to a certain something, they will go for it. That's why sometimes you see that weird thing, and I was like, well, who was she messing with in high school? That's going to tell you more about who she's going to choose as an adult, regardless of what she looked like. And you might just look like her imprint. And because she'll remember that if it's a fairly positive imprint, he probably didn't make her like have an orgasm or anything, because most young dudes ain't going to make a girl have an orgasm, but she remembers, oh, wait a minute, this dude was always nice, kind to her, held her hand. She had a good time with him. So that's what she's going to go for. You know? So you might just resemble that. You know what, even beyond the imprint, maybe she, like I've mentioned before, I know this very beautiful woman, young lady, beautiful, head to toe, nice body, face, but she's totally into geeky stuff. She is totally into geeky stuff. So she meets you, she'll want to talk to you about all that. And as long as you look decent, boom. And maybe she like you for it. People forget, because the main thing with women, we can talk about, people want to talk about they may be gold digging or, they just want that D from a guy. But the key to them is their emotion and who they connect with emotionally. And so she might just, she might be in a position to connect with you. In fact, I've known plenty of women who told me about guys they had sex with who, or gone out with, who might not have been their ideal type, but they connected with the guy emotionally. She just liked the guy. And so with the guys listening to it, sometimes you're going to meet a woman who just like you. That's why it's important. Really, the best thing is always to be authentic. Be true to yourself. If you like comic books, whatever, do that. You still want to always improve yourself. You still always want to be in the best shape. And you still want to get your mind right and really just get your life together. But as I always say, that's mainly for yourself. And the women are the commercial. But if you authentic, there's probably some women who's going to like you authentically anyway. And in fact, that's the real secret to doing anything, is to find the women who are going to click with you naturally. But that's more like a webinar that I'll do. So anyway, that's it for today. So remember that, like, don't hurt yourselves, fellas. Just think look like this. Think enough of yourselves. Think enough of yourselves to realize that if you like yourself, if you feel good about yourself, somebody else might just feel good about you. And no, you're not gonna. You're not a fashion model. No, you're not rich. Yeah, you could probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't get seconds, or you probably need to get seconds. But whatever the case, there's probably somebody she cool. She likes you how you are. She cool. And then when you meet that person, you just gotta have enough self-esteem to accept it and don't question it and fuck it up. Because trust me, more dudes leave a good woman, decent woman on the table than they realize. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.